We are standing with the forces of Rama, the forces which belong to Sugriv, at the gate of Lanka. When Ravana observed the numbers of the Vanaras that had surrounded Lanka from all sides, he wondered how all of them could be destroyed. On the other hand, writes Valmiki, it's a poignant note. Rama, as he advanced towards mounting an attack, thought of Sita with a heavy heart. Alas, the doe-eyed Sita sorrowfully suffers in my absence in this city. She pines for me, sleeps on bare earth, and has withered due to fasting. Thus, remembering Sita all the time, Ram ordered the Vanara forces to kill all the enemy Rakshasas. Soon thereafter, the Sugriva soldiers started smashing the ramparts and gates of the city. They filled the freshwater reservoirs with mud, rubble, rocks, and trees. They climbed the ramparts, leveled massive gates into the ground, and destroyed domes as high as Mount Kailash. From time to time, they hailed victory to Sri Ram, to Sri Lakshmana, or to their king, Sugriv. By the end of the day, the battlefield was littered with lances, arrows, maces, shaktis, broken chariots, dead and injured horses, dead must elephants, and or dead or injured soldiers. The place looked frightening as packs of jackals roamed in search of prey. The battle continued even after sunset, and soon, writes Valmiki, a deathly night engulfed Lanka. The Rakshasas had been waiting for the sun to set because their powers multiplied at night. Dressed in golden armor, the black-skinned Rakshasas shone in the dark like mountains with medicinal plants glowing at night. Look at the image. It's so interesting. While the Asuras bit and ate the Vanara flesh, the latter jumped out of their reach and with their sharp teeth inflicted wounds on the elephants and Mahavats of the enemy and smashed their chariots with rocks and tore their flags into pieces. When the Asuras magically disappeared out of sight while still engaged in a fight, Ram and Lakshman used their poisonous arrows to kill them. Hidden in the covers of the dark night, the emboldened Asuras attacked Ram with roars as loud as the ocean. In retaliation, Rama shot 6 Asura warriors with fiery arrows, while others fled and saved their lives. Rama, the great warrior, writes Valmiki, illuminated the dark night by releasing arrows shining like flames of fire. Every nook and corner was illuminated with the arrows. Angada attacked Indrajit and injured him, also destroying the Asura prince's chariot. However, the injured Indrajit, in great pain, disappeared, leaving everything behind. Angered by his humiliating defeat at the hands of a Vanara, Indrajit could not stay away from the scene for long. Hadn't he conquered Indra himself? Using boons granted to him by Brahma, he became invisible and started shooting sharp arrows. He successfully injured Ram and Lakshmana and lacerated all their limbs. I have included in this video some of the finest paintings made on this war. Please look at them and see how minutely the artists have depicted the action outside Lanka. Now the unthinkable happened. Indrajit's arrows shaped like cobras wrapped the Raghava brothers in a Nagpash and made them immobile. Rama, injured from bleeding, asked 10 Vanara commanders, including Hanuman and Angad, to trace Indrajit's whereabouts. The Vanaras carrying tall tree trunks moved in 10 different directions in the sky. However, their movement was stalled by Indrajit, an expert in the use of weapons, by an incessant rain of relentless arrows. Great language, he wrote. Valmiki was a great writer. The grievously injured Vanaras could not see Indrajit. Meanwhile, a hostile Indrajit continued his shower of Nagapash arrows on Ram and Lakshmana, hitting different parts of their bodies until not a fraction of their skin remained exposed. The brothers bled profusely and looked like two palash trees in full bloom. Their pupils turned red and the bodies black like a mound of coal freshly mined. What an image! Like a mound of coal freshly mined. The invisible Indrajit spoke thus to the Raghava brothers. Even Indra cannot see me when I become invisible during a battle. You stand nowhere in comparison. I have snared you in a net of arrows mounted with the feathers of a heron. I propose to dispatch you soon to the Yamalok. Indrajit renewed his shower of arrows and rode decisively. At their predicament, he aimed at critical parts of their bodies and arrows that had golden fins. The victims of those arrows became so weak that they could not lift an eyelid. Covered by Nagpash, their bodies bled like waterfalls. Hanuman and other Vanaras surrounded the unconscious Raghava brothers, and grief enveloped the Vanara army. Valmiki continues, while the Vanaras grieved, Indrajit celebrated. He moved away after his shower of arrows like Indra retreating after heavy rains. The literary element is never missing from what Valmiki writes. Vibhishana, Sugriv, Hanuman and other Vanara warriors gathered around Ram and Lakshman, who now lay unconscious. Mired in blood, they were breathing hard and slow. None of their limbs were moving. Looking at them, the Vanara generals shed tears. Indrajit was not visible to anyone except Vibhishana, he being a Rakshasa himself. He saw him addressing the Rakshasas and boasting of his having killed the enemies in the battlefield. He was saying, "Look how I have killed the two chivalrous brothers who were responsible for killing Khara and Dushana. Neither the Devatas nor the Asuras can release them from their snare. I have destroyed the root cause of my father's sleepless nights and the city of Lanka that was in turbulence, like a river in spate during the rains. I have uprooted the source of our terror. Presuming Ram and Lakshmana to be dead, Indrajit retreated into Lanka to apprise his father of the good news. On the other hand, Vibhishana assuaged the feelings of the grieving and tearful Sugriva. He told him that the princes were not dead and would soon regain consciousness. He wanted Sugriva to raise the morale of his forces so that they could fight against Ravana and his forces with renewed vigor later. Ravana's joy knew no bounds on hearing the news of Rama's death from his son. He showered praise on Indrajit and shedded his fear of Rama. Then he retreated into his palace. We shall continue with the story when the Nagpash is destroyed by Garuda in the next video. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram.